Muslims are a community over 1 billion people in the world, and that's a lot of cultures, that's a lot of histories, that's a lot of ethnicities, that's a lot of languages, you know, that's a lot of differential events in the lives of people, that's a lot of visions of the past, the visions of the future, and we have to be able to accommodate and in some ways even celebrate diversity, as corny as that may sound. You know, before the modern period, that, to my understanding, was like part of the DNA of Islam. And I think that now we've sort of landed in a, you might want to call it even a psychological or a communicative space that turns diversity into trauma. That people are not able to accommodate diversity in a way that leaves them whole and secure. We end up in these zero-sum conversations. I mean, you ask any of the scholars, you ask Sheikh Hamza, you ask Sheikh Suhaib, you ask Imam Zayd, you ask you know, any of the scholars, and this is not just, you know, American-born scholars. You know, you ask Salah Sawi, you ask, you know, any of these scholars. I mean, the tendency to want every question to be reducible to a single answer that is singularly right, to the absolute exclusion of all other possibilities. This is the appetite that we have now. And I think that, you know, the whole notion, you know, of what's attributed to Imam Shafi'i and others, but, you know, I believe that my point of view is right, with the possibility that it's wrong. I believe my opponent is wrong, with the possibility that he's right. This has virtually dissipated from our collective existence. And what I'm saying is that statement attributed to Imam Shafi'i is not simply a statement of a sort of intellectual posture or position. That's a culture. So the point that I'm trying to make is that this is not moral relativism. I believe I'm right. I believe that you are wrong. But I also know I'm not the prophet. And in the absence of the prophet, they said, I'm coming back saying, you are right and you are wrong. We cannot know this definitively. You follow what I mean by that? To the point that I could impose my opinion on you. But in the absence of the prophet coming back, I absolutely believe I am right. You know, we're going to have to answer for the opportunities and the circumstances, you know, with which we have been provided. And I think that in that light, whatever external challenges come to us as a community, you know, those are challenges. We don't control what other people do. But I think in terms of the internal challenges, some of the trauma that our very unbrotherly and unsisterly discourses has unleashed upon us, our inability to arrive at a point where we can really be a community that loves one another, that respects one another, and does so to the point that we can even disagree with one another. These are things that we as a Muslim community have to take more responsibility for. And we have to understand that if these internal challenges are not addressed, all right, even if the external challenges go away, all right, we are still going to be an impoverished community.